Hi there. As you can see, I'm in the middle of editing up this video in Microsoft Live Movie Maker. I've already done the video itself, but just want to add something in up front before I forget. I'm using three AOC E2752VQ 27-inch monitors running at 1920 by 1080. I will at the end give credits for various links that I will mention, or various games that I'll mention. I'm running NVIDIA GTX 980 4 GB memory, which is quite a storming PC these days. It's brand new. Other PCs, other video cards will run this. I'm running it in NVIDIA Surround. iFinity is the ATI/AMD version. So I just wanted to do this little introduction to let you know what's actually behind it, because the video focuses mainly on the physical construction and then what the views look like in various games. Okay, so much for the foreword. Welcome to what my daughters like to call my man cave. Not going to show you all of it because some of it's not fit for human consumption, but you'll get a fair idea of what I've got here. And I'll go through things as we go along. Why 4 screens? 3 screens are really providing me with a widescreen view. Very fond of flight simulators. Adds very much to the immersion. And the lower panel is where I can also bring up aircraft instruments if I want to. For ordinary everyday work, I've got 3-4 screens to spread documents across if I'm working from one to the other. Web, spreadsheet, document, whatever. Very, very useful, but you can see it's mainly set up for flight simulation. I'll take you on a quick tour. We have 3 AOC E2752VQ screens, 27 inches. And this is a 2333 HD TV, Samsung TV, 23 inches, which I just happen to have spare. Keyboard here. Move slightly to one side purely because of space. CH controls, control manager, various program buttons for various applications. This little doohickey down here, this button in the centre, that allows me to switch the lower screen, the keyboard and the mouse from my main gaming PC through there to a server PC tucked back there should I want to run things online for my friends. Okay, what else do we have? Cytec X52 Pro HOTAS. The stick has the hall sensors rather than potentiometers. This is an old X45 throttle which I use for RPM adjustment and a few other buttons and trimming wheels in addition to the wheels we've got on here. So quite a useful and efficient setup. It's built on Unistrut, an idea I got from someone else who I must give credit to. I have to go and find his thread and thank him for that. Vertical struts on which the screens are mounted. They can be adjusted up and down, and the uprights themselves can be moved left and right to get these monitors positioned. Very handy. This one just stands there. It sticks out quite a lot because of the depth, but it doesn't really notice when you're using it. And I've overlapped the bezels. Deliberately done that so that when viewed you get minimal bezel disruption, rather than putting the bezels edge to edge where you get much more disruption to the image. Reduces that framing when you're looking around. The Unistrut also lends itself to useful little notes and magnets. Centre clock. Uplighter lamp for when I'm actually using it, because the top light will be off, which you'll see as I move on to a few screenshots for various sims that I'm using. Okay, a couple more things before we go on. A video jump to this, sorry about that. Down here, an excellent pair of rudder pedals made by MFG. Shameless advertising, they are really, really good. They're called Crosswind. If you Google Crosswind MFG, you'll find them. Very nice pair of rudders. Not cheap, but very nice. What else? Convenient place to hang the headphones. I expect I'll tidy that up at some stage. And there'll be a video jump now because I'm going to set up some of the simulator screens so you get an idea of what it is I see when I'm sitting down. Back in a mo. Okay, so now we're looking at Flight Simulator FSX. Try to keep my head still, so I've got the head tracker on. The advantage of these screen setup is here that I can just look straight ahead, and instead of tilting my head down to look at the instruments, I can just flick my eyes down as you would in a real aircraft. So you haven't got to move your head. It enables you to keep this view in view and then flick your eyes down to the instruments. And of course I've got side views. One of the things about graphics systems is that they tend to stretch side views. This one is not actually so bad, but some sims are not as good. So that gives you a good full panoramic view, which I can't get back far enough for you to appreciate really. You'll notice that the image keeps moving. That's because I'm wearing a head tracker, which is monitored by this camera up here. So that as well as just looking left and right by moving my head a little, I can also swivel the whole scene around and look right behind me if I wish to. Some sims are better at this than others, looking back along the wing to the forward view. Side view still restricted without head movement, but if I turn my head I can look around the side of the seat and see what's behind me. Not going to waste any more time on that. That's the FSX setup, but it does give me a full forward view. That's my normal view, that's what I'm normally seeing with a bit of side, but if I glance left and right, I can flick eyes down onto the instruments and switches. Okay, I'll set them up now. Okay, here's another one. I have to confess I've been interested in online combat sims for many years. I enjoy flying in the organised reenactment type scenarios. Reenactment with a lot of unpredictability. The instrument panel down below you can see is a reflection of the panel here. If I can just reach forward a bit, and this is how I usually fly it. Zoomed in with the instrument panel below. I'm not going to bother you with the details, but you have to create that, but there are plenty of threads on the various websites. And again, you've got the side views, and once again I can look around behind the aircraft if I wish to on that side panel. I could in fact drag it to the front panel, but I won't. So you get a good idea of what it's like to look behind you there. Pulling it back, give you a better view of everything that's available. And that one is called IL-2 Sturmovik, Cliffs of Dover. Got off to a very faulty start, company abandoned it, the community took it over, they're patching it up and making quite a nice job of it. And on to the next one. Okay, now the previous one you probably realised was sitting in the cockpit of a Spitfire. This one is sitting in the cockpit of a P-51 Mustang. And this is something called the Eagle Dynamics Digital Combat Simulator, probably the best from the point of view of flight modelling. Arguable as to whether it's the best terrain or not. It's the one I get most fun out of because the aircraft are harder to fly. But really this is about views, and of course if I look down I have the full cockpit instrumentation available to me. You can zoom these views in and out so you can choose how much of them you see on the screen. Let me try to give you an example. You can adjust this. It's a matter of personal preference really. To be honest, having sat in a 51, that's probably about the most realistic. You get a sense that the frame is actually around you rather than having it all squeezed in as you normally do on a normal screen. Again, looking sideways. I've got a slightly different setup on this one. Normally you can have a panoramic view that just swings around left and right, but the stretching on the left and right panels really does show up on this, so I've actually got 3 individual views set up. It does make the wings look as though they're pointing forward a bit. When you're actually at viewing distance and you look left, it doesn't feel like that. It does feel as though they are sticking out sideways and you're looking out sideways. I've turned the head tracker off at the moment. I'll just turn that back on. Okay, so now you'll be able to see that I can look around to the right and see behind me. And I can have a panoramic view in this if I want to. I just happen to prefer this particular setup. So, with the advantage of also of DCS is that the cockpit swings with you, and with the others this image of the cockpit down below just stays absolutely still. So those are just 3 flight sims. You can use this for any kind of gaming or whatever is your preference. Millions of us are gaming online. I'm a very senior adult. Our age profile for the kind of thing I do peaks at about 40, 50, 55 years and then drops off. I suppose we're all losing interest by that age or snuffing it or whatever. But it's amazing just how far across the age spectrum computer game spreads now. And my preference, of course, is propeller simulators. Anyway, it's about views. There we are. That's what I've done, and I hope that's been of some interest.